Morning everyone. Today we'll be solving a LeetCode hard problem, which has the topic split array with the same average. So in this problem, we have been given an integer array nums, and what we have to do, we have to move each element of nums into one of the two arrays A and B, such that A and B are non-empty. So we have to make two arrays out of this nums array, and the condition that we need to satisfy is that the average of array A should be equal to average of array B, right? So just in case it is possible to do so, we will be returning true, and just in case it is not possible to achieve this, we'll be returning false. So let us look at the constraints. So upon looking at the constraints, we can see that the length of the array is just like maximum length of the nums array is just 30. So yeah, so obviously all 2 to the power n solution won't be able to pass the test cases, but yeah, 2 to the power n by 2 can pass the test, all the test cases. So let us approach the problem. So we can see that we can have a look at this condition that the average of array A and average of array B should be same. So if you guys will pay attention to this condition, you can clearly say that if the average of array A and average of array B are equal, then this average will also be equal to the average of nums array. So let me show you guys how it is possible. So let us assume that the length of the array A is x and that of array B is y. So yeah, and let us call the common average is avg. Okay, so the sum of all the elements of the array A will be x into avg, and that of the array B will be y into avg. So if we using this the sum of the arrays A and arrays B, array A and array B, we can compute the sum of the nums array, and that will be y into avg. And for getting the average of nums array, we can divide it by the number of elements in the nums array. That is x plus y, right? And if you will divide it from if you will calculate this expression, you simplify this expression, you will find that this is in fact avg. So we have now known that the average of the all the three arrays will be same. So what we can do, we can first find the average of the nums array, and that would be nothing, that would be just sum over n. And we can first yeah, so we can safely assume that one out of A and out of array B, one array is smaller out of these two, smaller or equal, right? So let us assume that this array A is the smaller one. So it may have length ranging from 0 to n by 2, both inclusive, right? And so the length variable will iterate from 0 to n by 2. And just in case it has got a length len, so the sum of that subarray will be length into average, and that is in fact sum upon n. So since all the elements of this array are integers, what we need is that this length into sum should be divisible by n, right? So that we can, yeah, for this condition to be true, we will need that this length into sum should be divisible by n. And just in case out of all these cases we are not able to find any length, so that its multiplication with sum is not divisible by n, then the solution of this problem is not. And just in case we are able to find such length, we can't say that it is possible, but yeah, we may do some further calculation. So let us try. So just in case we are able to find a length such that length into sum is divisible by n, then we will get some, after dividing this, we will get some what? We'll get some number, and we need to check whether these many elements of the array are able to make that summation or not. So just in case that thing is possible, we will be returning yes. And just in case out of all the possible lengths, we are not able to find any such possible combination, then the answer of this problem will be false. So this is the basic approach to this for solving this problem. So let us guys start. So we can now start solving this problem. So first of all, we will be storing the size of the num set, right? And another thing, so we can first check about whether it is possible to find a length or not. So like we will be checking this condition whether there exists any length such that length into sum mod n is equal to 0 or not. So just after we will be getting some length, we will be checking whether there exists some combination in the array so that those many elements in the array are able to form a sum given by this expression. So let us first pre-compute all the possible sums of a particular number of elements in this array. So for calculating that, I will be using a dynamic programming approach, and that is what I will calculate all the possible like sums of all the planes up to a particular element. So like suppose there are elements A, B, C, and D. So for the zero length, for all the possible sums, for the zero number of array elements in the array will be zero. I will be initializing it with this, and rest of others will be empty. So all the possible sums for one element will be empty, for two element will also be empty. So, and we will be doing this up to n by 2th number of elements, right? So this will be initially empty, and then what I will be doing, I will take this element A, and now I will update all these arrays to contain all the possible sums up to this element. So the approach will be like, suppose I want to find all the possible sums for the combination of x elements, then what I will do, I will take all the possible sums up to x minus 1 elements, for x minus 1 elements, and I will add the this element to them to get the all the possible sums for x elements. So this is what I will be doing. So I will be iterating backwards so that I want to find the elements twice. So yeah, so for n by 2, like I will be checking whether the previous has got any elements or not. It has got none. So I will be just, so since others are also empty, I will be just adding a to this zero element and updating it to a. Now it's time for updating the elements, updating this all the combinations till array b. So I will do the same. I will since all these are empty, I will add b to a to make it this, and I'll be adding b to 0 to make it this. And similarly for c, since it has got a plus b, now this a plus b plus c, and 3. So we'll be doing this thing up to n by 2. That was what I meant. Yeah. So okay, so now this will become a plus c after adding with a, and after adding with b it will become b plus c, and this will become just c. So this will become just c, and now for d it will become a plus b plus d, a plus c plus d, and b plus c plus d. Similarly, it will become a plus d, b plus d, c plus d, and this will become d. So this is how we will be using dynamic programming to calculate all the possible combinations of these sums for a particular number of elements of the array. So let us try to write this thing, implement this thing. So for that I will be using vector of unordered set. So this unordered set will be used to store these things, since we are not since we don't want to use store duplicate elements, and this vector will have size n by 2, and since we are also including 0, we will be having size n by 2 plus 1. This plus 1, and this L means long end. So let me check whether range is exceeding or not. So yeah, there is no possibility of the exceeding of the integer range limit, so we can simply use integer as well. So first of all, I will be pushing back 0, since it is a set, we will be using set function to initialize it with 0, and now we have to do everything to all this process for every element of the array. So I will be using an enhanced for loop, and for each number we will be iterating backwards to take all the elements of the previous set and add this num to them, and add all the elements to the current size combination. So for that I will be using int I, which it will be equals to n by 2, and this I will go till I equals to 1. So what we have to do, we have to take every element, and let us call it to previous, and every element of the every element of I minus 1th set, and then we have to do, we have to insert it into the ith set, into ith set after adding it with num. So this, for this thing, will give us all the possible sums for a particular set. Now what we need to do, we have to check for all the possible sizes of the smaller array A. So basically we are trying for all the we are trying for all the possibilities of x. So this will go from I equals to 1, since it has told us that a and b can't be b, and I less than equals to 10. But first we need to check that I into sum is divisible by n or not. So let us first calculate the sum. So for every array, for every element num, these nums add into sum. So now we have got sum. So we will be checking whether I into sum is divisible by n or not. So just in case it is divisible, we have got the sum of the. So this will give us the sum of the array A. And what we need to do, we need to check whether this sum is present in the corresponding set of that sum or not. So we can do it this way, checking using the find function. Sorry guys, here it should be I. Yeah. We need to check that it is equals to n. So this will tell us that whether it is present in the set or not. So just in case it is present, then we will be returning true. And just in case after all this, after checking for all the combinations of I, all the possibilities of I, it is not possible, will be returned false. So guys, this is the required implementation. Let us try to run this and check whether it is passing the test cases or not. So for this we are getting false while it should be true. So let us try to check what has gone wrong. This also looks fine. Okay. So it should be. The mistake was here, like I equals what it should be. So that's run again. Yeah. So this test case is possible. Let us submit it. Yeah. So it got submitted.